Hello and welcome to another TFHB React. Today we are watching one of the saddest matches in football history. The miracle of Bern. Sad if you're a football fan, but not sad if you're a German football fan. A huge game, we've written about it so much in the past. It was of course when the magical man girls of Hungary met West Germany, playing in their first World Cup since the Second World War in the final of the 54 World Cup. But what happened? Should we find out?
Let's have a look. I mean, this is one that we've spoke about in a lot of previous videos, if you've watched some of our previous ones.
Yeah.
This match is so significant. We've not watched this video and the footage of it.
No.
Let's watch and get the tissues ready.
Yeah, if you want to watch the original video, the link is in the description below. It is from FIFA, so please give them some support. There we are. Right, let's go.
It's fair to say football boot design has come a long way since the game began. At first, little thought had been given to their impact on performance.
Oh, nice.
That is until the 1954 World Cup final.
Right, so interestingly, the narrative they've gone with for
That's
this...
an interesting angle, isn't it?
I wasn't expecting that.
No.
They've gone with the football boots. Now, we now know that the boots are, of course, made by Adidas, who, becomes the creator of Adidas.
Yes.
I'm not going to give too much away, but of course his boot design plays a major role in the outcome of the final.
And I tell you, the best example of why football boots are important is every time you watch a pitch invader and they're slipping and sliding all over the place, or the stewards chasing after a pitch invader and they're sliding all over the place. Studs are needed. You need studs, don't you?
Yeah, they are. Right, should we find out then what's a bit more?
The footballing landscape was a lot different in 1954. West Germany were competing in the World Cup for the first time since World War II and hoping to rebuild their reputation.
Got to stop it again. Obviously, I mentioned that before. World War II, we all know how that goes. Obviously, Germany are the enemy of the world after the Second World War. This is just 9 years afterwards, and all of these players would have been alive during the conflict. Some of them not too sure, but they may have even fought in the conflict.
And we're at the very beginnings of the Cold War, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
East versus West.
Yeah, it's West Germany.
It's West Germany, which were I suppose, when we say westernised, we're thinking now Britain, America and France supported West Germany.
Yes.
East Germany supported by Russia, the USSR.
Yeah.
And they're allowed and accepted back into world football. But without doubt, people will have been, the team you love to hate in this case.
Yes.
Some of them,
the enemy.
because people would have lost family to Germany.
Absolutely.
Would have absolutely been bitter towards this German side and not wanting success for them. They're up against Hungary, who were a very popular side in terms of how successful they were.
But also an Eastern European side who had, of course, communist and so on. They hadn't played 1950. They weren't allowed. 54 Cup they had to play, but they weren't allowed their anthem until the final. Let's see how it goes.
The team to beat was Hungary, a golden generation spearheaded by the legendary Ferenc Puskás.
There he is. Cautious there.
An early meeting between the two teams in the group stage saw Hungary run out 8-3 winners. So when the teams were poised to face off once more in the final, Hungary were heavy favourites.
So a little note, that first game between the two, Hungary won 8-3.
Yeah.
So they completely battered West Germany. They battered everyone, to be honest. I think they beat Brazil 4-2, Uruguay 4-2.
It's a Hungary side who were on a massive run of victories, weren't they, leading up to this World Cup.
Well, they hadn't lost, had they, this group of players together.
Yeah.
Let's see then. Here's the final. Next to Puskás there is Fritz Walter, another fantastic forward in his time as well. And as the game goes on, we'll see how he comes, a major impact on it.
But as kickoff approached, grey skies and the threat of rain would only help the Germans.
The rain. Call it off.
The time had come for a Bavarian shoemaker to play his part in the final. His name was Adi Dassler.
Adi Dassler.
Dassler had just come up with a technical innovation known as removable studs. The studs were to be used dependent on the state of the pitch. So as the heavy rain began, German manager Sepp Herberger told Dassler to screw them in. The final couldn't have started worse for West Germany.
Okay, we're going to stop it there. Lot of information there, all about Adi Dassler and the screw-in studs and how you can change the studs to suit the pitch. Obviously, you might think, that's not much of an invention, just changing the studs. But, that since that point, football boot design is now insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
You buy boots now, they feel like running spikes. They're so light. And, when we were younger, we would just see football boots that look completely different to today's boots. And he begins that revolution in football boot design, which then comes to kit design and everything involved in football.
And it's really interesting, actually, because Hungary, in the 50s, themselves had started to implement kits too.
Yes, they had,
and boots. When they play England, famously in that match of the century, 1953, win 6-3 at Wembley, they are wearing boots of sorts, earlier boots than this, without the studs like we see there. But they beat England, and part of that is credited to the attire that they're wearing.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is taken on by Dassler, so it's clearly a really innovative time of football. Post World War II now, time of innovation anyway in the world.
In the 50s, yeah.
And in particular now, football getting involved with clothing manufacturers like Dassler, exactly the same as we see today in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, and you see the picture here was Hungary go ahead in the final. Hungary's kit, you can see a much tighter fitting than West Germany's, and that was part of the reason that they beat England. I think that might have been a bit of an excuse, but some people believe that was a major
innovations
part
in kit. Yeah.
Right, let's carry on.
A spirited fight back saw the two teams level at half-time.
That great finish.
But as the pitch turned to mud in the second half, the studs gave West Germany an undeniable advantage.
See him slipping.
A remarkable turnaround and a surprising victory against the mighty Magyars.
Oh, finish.
The match would later be dubbed the Miracle of Bern.
It was dubbed the Miracle of Bern because of who they beat in the final, but also because it's 9 years after the Second World War. West Germany have shown the world that we can come. We've just lost this massive brutal conflict. We've gone 2-0 down in the final to a team that's just beat us 8-3, and we've managed to come back. And that grit, that fight, that sort of determination won a lot of people who were antagonistic towards West Germany. A lot of them back. And a lot of them became more respectful and thinking, you know what, fair play, they've done a great job there. And you see in the rain there, it's called Fritz Walter weather, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But Groscher says sliding across the goal in that mud bath.
And lots of the players, if you read autobiographies at the time, from people who watched at the time, so youngsters, they were children, players who go on to play in the 70s, people like Beckenbauer, talk about how important this moment was for the whole of Germany in terms of recovery from the Second World War, culturally, to feel accepted into Europe again.
Yeah, definitely.
And for them to win it against the odds, absolutely against the odds. This is overwhelming favourites. We forget now because Hungary are not a great footballing nation today. I know they beat England fairly recently, which was
4-0.
Phenomenal. Molyneux, randomly.
I know, what a shame, wasn't it, Wembley?
Yeah. To relive
for the history. That would be great.
But this side were phenomenal. When we talk about greatest international sides, if you've not read about them, if you've not watched previous videos of ours talking about these,
I read
check
half of our articles on the website.
Such a good side.
I mean,
and they lose.
They lose, but I don't. There's not show it, but there's more controversy in this game.
Football boots would never be the same again.
Jules Rimet trophy. Puskas getting a handshake. Classy. Puskas at the end, showing his class, shaking the hand of Fritz Walter, well done, fair play for coming back. However, Puskas was absolutely livid after the game. He had a goal disallowed right at the end. Controversially, I think the general consensus it was probably onside.
Yeah.
But that's football, it happens.
No VAR then.
No VAR then. But also, he was to claim that the West German side was doping.
Yes.
That they were drug cheats. I think maybe amphetamines, and that's why they was played so well, could come back. Wasn't just because Adi Dassler came out with screw-in studs. It was more to it, a bit darker maybe. Because of that, I read recently, Puskás was then banned for playing in Germany.
Interesting.
Against German clubs. German clubs refused to play any team that had Puskás in it.
Wow.
Until the 1960 European Cup final between Real Madrid and Eintracht Frankfurt, of course, a German team. Puskás, famously scores 4 in that final.
Yeah.
As you do. Decent final hat-trick, two great players. He has to apologise before the final for his comments. Good job he did, because then he scores 4 in the final and smashes Frankfurt in the 5th European Cup in a row for Los Blancos and happy days. But there we go. A little bit extra information for you there.
Always learning.
If
that's not worth subscribe, I don't know what is.
Yeah, so please like and subscribe. I think that's definitely worth it. Well, I really enjoyed watching that. Hopefully we'll watch a few more of them. Hopefully we won't get copyrighted for this one, but that'd be really nice to just discuss the social history.
It's the people's game.
It is a people's game. So fantastic there. Really enjoyed that one. Please, as we said before, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want as well about the game, what you know about it. Let us know, let us learn as well. And we'll see you next time for the next one. Thanks so much.